Today's deck is extremely interesting because it draws its power source from the graveyard. What I mean by that is that the more cards in our opponents in our own graveyard, the more powerful this deck has the potential to be. And that's because it has a really fun 2-card combination between Willowgeist and Lion Sash. This is a combination I ran into on the ladder against an opponent, and I thought it was such a cool idea. I had to try it myself. But basically, we attach the Lion Sash onto that Willowgeist. We start exiling cards from our graveyard and our opponent's graveyard to have the Willowgeist grow at an exponential rate, because both of these cards give 1/1 counters when things start to leave the graveyard. Now we've got some really interesting cards like Shigeki and the Restoration of Iganjo, which act not only to fill the graveyard with cards, but also can bring cards from the graveyard back to either the battlefield or our hand, giving the Willowgeist an added benefit of 1/1 counters. And of course, we have a really nice top end here with Sarah Paragon, because it can also bring things back from the graveyard that we're not using for exiling fodder. But the Willowgeist just gets extremely big, extremely fast, and it has trample, so it can manage to pump out a ton of damage. And if it gets removed, you just gain a ton of life and you reset with the Sarah Paragon, which is really fun. But the deck is a blast. I know you guys are going to enjoy this one. Stick around to the end if you guys want. There'll be a full deck breakdown at the end. In the meantime, there's a link below for the full deck list. And if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, enjoy today's games. We'll see you here at the end. Peace out. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing some Abzan Graveyard Hate. This is a very interesting deck that I kind of stole the idea for the Willowgeist plus Lion Sash combination from an opponent on the ladder that beat me not too long ago. It was a really fun and cool combination, honestly, and I wanted to see if I can utilize it myself and get some value out of it. And so we put together our own little Abzan list here, where you know, it was mainly a Selesnya deck that I think I've seen. I didn't see too many other sort of plays from the opponent, but we added black into this deck because I thought black would make a bit more spice as far as trying to mill ourselves out and filling up our graveyard to utilize you know, these effects from Willowgeist and whatnot. So Shigeki dies immediately, which is unfortunate. I did need Shigeki, but I do have the Sarah Paragon, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet. We'll see if we can recover here. The Praetor is a 3/3, which gets right underneath the radar of my Valorous stance. Man, this is tough because I'm gonna have to play this to make a good block against the Praetor, but we all know what's gonna happen if I do play this. The opponent is just gonna run some sort of kill spell here, and we're gonna feel pretty bad. So let's go ahead and just pass the turn here. Hopefully they play out a Shieldred and I can just blow the Shieldred up. That'd be great. Nice. So there is some value to be had here. We made a good read. We, you know, we're pretty happy about that. I could make a block. Ooh, but they don't even attack. That is very interesting. All right, we're going to go with this play first before we go with the Sarah Paragon play. Very surprised they didn't attack there. They really kind of relieved the pressure off of me there for a second, so I'm really happy about that. And then maybe an Invoke Despair in my future here. Sure is. You know, they never don't have the Shieldred into an Invoke Despair. You've always got to count that as a guarantee when you're going against mono black, which is pretty sad, but it is the facts, unfortunately. All right, Sarah Paragon, and then we replay the maybe we replay Shigeki. Shigeki seems like a fine replay here. When this permanent is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, okay, so this actually works pretty well because we can return it to our hand, not the graveyard, which is pretty cool. This is the first time I'm getting to play Shigeki off of the graveyard appearance from the Sarah Paragon's ability, so this could end up being really nice for us. Graveyard Trespasser, yikes, that means they're going to start exiling things from our yard, which we need for the Sarah Paragon to bring back. So maybe mono black, not our best matchup, huh? But at least they don't have another Invoke Despair or kill spell for Sarah Paragon, so we're in good shape for this turn. No attacks from the opponent, guaranteed, and we're good to go. All right, let's see what this hits. Could get us some good stuff here from the yard. All lands, huh? All right. Let's activate Shigeki's ability. Paragon and then 2 Tenacious Underdogs, which isn't necessarily the worst thing ever. And then we'll go with the old Rutstein. Just really filling up the yard here. No attacks because we have a really good block right now, and we might keep them from being able to attack in with the Graveyard Trespassers, or at least stop them from wanting to, because they're just going to run into a brick wall. All right, so we do have a Valorous Stance in the yard, which we can get back to kill the Shieldred. Yeah, I didn't think they'd want to attack into that wall of defenses here. Interesting. Okay. Draw. Take the hit. Oh, nice. We find a Valorous Stance. We don't even need to pull one back from the graveyard. All right, and I do believe we're gonna play the Restoration here. Let's put some 1/1 counters onto the Paragon. Let's go with the Restoration play here. Man, if we still had the Willow Geist on the field, this would be going crazy. Not to mention the Sash as well. We'd have so much value. But yeah, let's go ahead and play out the Shigeki here. It's kind of a question of like, when is enough? You know what I mean? Like, we've got a lot of mana, we've got a lot of board to work with here. When is enough? And do I start attacking the opponent and looking to actually deal some damage? All right. I don't think the time is now. I think we got to wait just a little bit longer. We do have the, you know, sagas that are about to trigger and become creatures, which can help a lot. The Gix being out there, though, really scares me because their attacks do lead to card draw, and they are going to get a Death Touch creature here. All right. We got to figure this out because now they're going to start attacking into us freely, which we don't love. So for now, we've got a good chump block with the Spirit, but wow. Interesting. They're kind of throwing away one of these Graveyard Trespassers, but I guess it's because they want to get some stuff out of our graveyard, so Sarah Paragon can't, you know, replay them. Both underdogs are gone. Fair enough. We chump this, we kill this, and we block this one pretty easily. No extra cards for the opponent here. That's all I really care about. Let's just not allow the opponent to draw into those extra cards. And they still have 3 mana to work with and 2 cards in hand, and they go to kill a Shigeki. Bummer. Shigeki can get replayed from the graveyard again, though, if I want to. I don't necessarily think I even want to, though. I think we could do a lot better things here. All right, so we're gonna blood token this away. Our last card is a Tenacious Underdog. We don't really care. Ooh, a Sash in a yard. Which means we go here. We bring the Sash back. And I wouldn't mind just playing this out again. Just keep filling up the graveyard the best we can here. Keep giving ourselves some tools to bring back. Let's drop this down and get ourselves a land. Our final planes, we got to be careful about that. We're out of planes. Not that I think it's going to change too much in my game plan here. Let's reconfigure this onto a token here. Why a token, you might ask? Well, let's see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be a 5/5. Yeah, let's do this onto a token. And then maybe we can surprise the opponent when they attack into us with their Evolved Sleeper. Maybe we can chump block it with a Beetle here, and then the Beetle ends up killing the Sleeper. Let's find out. The opponent is going to be able to exile some things from our graveyard. This is a bit of a, you know, a mind melder here, this game. It's been quite the experience, man, that's for sure. Here and here. Now let's see if the opponent wants to do anything special. So far, not. Let's go here. Shieldred goes first. All right. Shieldred number 2. All right. What's nice too is we are able to continue growing the Lion Sash and keep reattaching it to other things, which is really great. All right, another Sarah Paragon isn't ideal. 1/1 counter, we put it on this. Do we drop this and get it for free? I guess that's, you know, a way to save some mana. So, well, I guess it wouldn't be for free because we're going to be playing it. I guess, yeah, either way. All right, let's do this first and let's see what we get milled off the top here. Sorry, just thinking out loud. Sometimes my thoughts don't make sense and I understand they don't. 22 cards left. Got to be careful about that. I don't necessarily need any more Lion Sashes, do I? I don't think so. But I don't necessarily need any more lands either. So I guess we do take the Lion Sash. All right. Reconfigure here. Reconfigure here. All right, so we got... Why do they keep tapping the wrong mana? I'm so confused about that. All right, so we got... Well, we would have had 4, but now we have 3 exiling hits we can make here. I do have a good blocker down low now with the Architect, so I am going to start swinging in over the top now with the Sarah Paragon and start dishing out some damage. I think we got this. It's been a bit of a slow burn, but I think we got this. It's as long as the opponent doesn't draw anything absolutely nuts. I guess Gix Command would be pretty annoying. Would decimate our board pretty hard. But then on top of that, what else? Oh, that's pretty bad. Would they hit a Tenacious Underdog? I guess that's not terrible. Could have been worse. All right, they attack with just a Flesh Gorger. All right, let's make some blocks here and here. And 4, 5. Let's see if we can get this over a 7 power. 1, 2, 3. No, we're not going to be able to. Not going to be able to, so let's start pumping this one up. All right. So first things first, we take out the permanents on their side, which is going to be this. This might take a little bit. I do apologize. My opponent is probably pretty annoyed too. We're not going to get very many games in with this deck, are we? It's a very long, drawn-out process. But you know what? I think most games aren't going to be this grindy. I think we can expect a little bit quicker games going forward after this. This just happens to be a pretty nutty matchup. All right. And a Gix Command goes to the yard. And let's go ahead and put a 1/1 counter on the flyer still. We want to make sure the flyer keeps getting the 1/1 counters now so we can keep dealing damage over the top. All right. These come in as creatures. And what else? What else? Let's go Lion Sash. We may want to actually use this. Let's go ahead and reconfigure to the flyer, maybe? I don't know. Let's go here. I don't love it. All right, let's attack in here with this and this. This is just going to die to this, though, right? So it's like, Is it worth it though? Maybe worth it. I can replay it from the graveyard. So yeah, it's definitely worth it, I think. I could have been doing this a lot differently. I'm completely aware that there's probably much better plays to make here as far as which things I reconfigure onto and which ones I attack with. But you know, we're just making do with what we got at the moment. Trying to maximize my plays, but I know I could be doing a better job. Trust me. Let's end our turn. And we'll look to just keep on pumping up these Lion Sashes here. It'd be so much easier if I had the Willow Geist. The Willow Geist combined with these, these Sashes would be so much better. All right, they discard 1 card again, and then they pull. Okay, that's nothing bad. That's actually going to help me if they play that because it's going to mill their own deck out 3 cards, which gives me more things to target with the Sash. So I'll take it. That should just about do it, to be honest. All right, nothing from the opponent here. Flesh Gorger gone. And we do got to keep hitting permanents, which is why I'm being very specific about what I'm selecting here. I would just kind of spam this really fast, but I do need to make sure that the things that I'm hitting are permanents. Otherwise, this doesn't work out the same way. So we don't get the 1-1 counters. It's a bit of a grind, but you know what? It's worth it to get this W, that's for sure. What a game this has been, man. And there's something holding priority on the opponent's end, which I'm sure is even more frustrating for them. It's got to be the Evolve Sleeper here. All right, my turn. Rutstein gives me an extra card every turn, essentially. It's a land, and we get a Shigeki. Okay. Shigeki. I mean, I don't know, a land, I suppose. Shigeki being played out is, I guess, pretty cool. Tenacious Underdog will draw me another card. I'm sure I can end the game here if I do this correctly. If we attack with everything here, leaving this as its own creature, maybe. I don't know what that looks like exactly. I don't know what that looks like exactly. I'm not exactly going to sit here either and do the math. We'll leave this back. Yeah, I don't really feel like doing the math here. I'm not going to lie. Let's do this. This. And this. All right. Send it. Send it on through. I also have this too, which can blow up the Evolve Sleeper. So I would imagine that this is going to be a pretty good turn for us here. They block there. Sure. I mean, this is just madness, guys. I mean, look at this real quick. Just take a look. Look at the board state. It's wild. All right. This. We go here. Blow this up. See ya. All right. That'll do it. That should do it. I mean, it might not be lethal, but that should do it at least going forward. It's exactly lethal. All right. GG's. Oh, man. Math is for blockers for sure on that one. I am not doing the math there. Oh, man. What a long, grindy game that was. But, man, good one there. Oh, man. We just played another game. Well, I shouldn't say played. We just queued up for another game. And Mono Blue played one land, played a Delver. I played my cards, and then they just began to rope us out. And in the most egregious fashion where they take it down to the final second and then make a play. And then they kept doing this over and over again just to try to trigger me. And it worked. But we're not going to show that game. So we are now moving on to the next one. Opening hand here is really nice. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of the mono black deck either, because that was crazy. And it looks like we do have a repeat of mono black. All right. 2 Reckoner Raids, though. Interesting. That's going to be a pretty good Gix command hit, I think. All right, we're going to play Shigeki out, I think, here. And then we're going to go ahead and ramp ourselves into an early Gix's command and fill up our graveyard. That way, the Sash has some targets to hit. We may see a Graveyard Trespasser, which would be very annoying right about now. Ooh, Soul Transfer. Bummer. All right, gonna have to play this one out if we're gonna get down in Old Rutstein, which was a great top deck, by the way, because again, could get us another land, and then boom, treasure. Nice. Gix command ready to go. Taking out these, these Reckoner Raids will be nice. I will have to give this 1/1 counters and lifelink, which isn't ideal, but it at least, oh, no way. All right, I changed my mind again. We might have to just throw away the Rutstein, to be honest. You know, we have 2 Gix commands. Let's not be too hasty here. We can actually bring back. Oh, there's only a. Man, they are making my life hard here. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna send it. You know, I'm gonna send it. All right, clean the battlefield up here. We've got another Gix command to hopefully get back an Old Rutstein as well as a Paragon from the graveyard, and maybe pick off another threat from the opponent here. Or we can just get hit right in the face with an Invoke Despair, point blank range. All right, cool. All right. Okay, this is gonna get tricky though, man. That does deal damage very quickly. All right, we're gonna have to just take the 5 here, and then we're gonna have to hope that these 2 cards are enough to get the job done. Wish me luck. Here we go. This is gonna get nutty. Graveyard Trespasser. Yikes. The exact opposite thing that I wanted to see, but it does help us a little bit here, as you see here. Gosh, having to take 5 every turn. We don't have an answer really for that. Well, hold on. Do we have okay, I was gonna say, do we have seat restaurate the Ganjo, the seat of, I can't remember the name of it, I'm sorry. The green land that eats it up, but we don't. All right, so we're gonna take a look at our graveyard. We'll take the land. Okay, we'll take their Shieldred. We'll take their Reckoner Raid. Playing Shigeki here is not going to work unless I want to throw this away. 6 damage with Trample. Or do we block? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think we pressure. I think we have to pressure. I don't necessarily think we have the luxury to even decide whether or not to pressure. I think we have to send it every time. That being transformed is a bit of a bummer, not gonna lie. And we gotta hope that their top decks aren't as spicy as, you know, one would like. All right, again, this is only gonna help our cause a bit here. We go down to 1 though. It's a land. Perfect. Okay. This is gonna be huge. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna play this, gain lifelink, and we'll drop a card here, of course. Boom, boom. Drop this. This gets lifelink. We gain 9 off this attack, and we're back in the game. Holy cow, dude. This has been crazy. These mono black decks are hard to beat. That's annoying, but we are still left with the Lion Sash. And we gain some more life. That's pretty helpful, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could just... 2, and then we only get 1 card back. Okay. Well, we'll do this then. And I guess we just look to close the game out here, right? Yeah, so they can make me discard. So what? Yada yada. I'll go ahead and Shigeki for 1 card back into my hand. And then we'll have lethal with the Sash next turn if they can't kill it. Are you serious right now? There's gotta be no way that that just happened, right? All right, okay, buddy. Should have played Shigeki. I should have known better. And I should have attached that to Shigeki. That's a card. Oh, I forgot to use... I forgot to use Shigeki's ability there. Yikes. Okay, well... That just happened. Pass the turn. I was so focused on what I should have done the previous turn that I wasn't thinking about the turn currently at hand. So that's a nightmare.
I'm tired of your secrets.
All right, we take you out. This should be enough to win the game, I think, though. Even though I made some mistakes here, I think we're fine. I think we win the game here with a simple... plus situation. Anything permanent, we just take it out. We have enough to kill the opponent here, so graveyard, boom boom, and finally graveyard, boom. Now this was another really grindy game though. I mean, mono black has this way of dragging you through the mud here, man, just absolutely taking you and grinding you to an absolute pulp. And we went down to 1 life and we're able to come back thanks to the Gix command lifelink ability, making us 3-0 right now. Thank God, because that was close, man. GG though. All right, man, we'll take that win, but I know it was sloppy. I know I definitely missed that Shigeki trigger. I'm sure there were a lot of other non-optimized plays in that match. I think I played to the best of my ability, though. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the outcome there and how I did end up playing that game. Opening hand here, huh? This is very slow. Very slow. If I find an on-tap source, I mean an on-tap land, it could be good. We have Tenacious underdog on 2, but the odds of that happening are pretty slim. But the odds of finding a third old Rutstein is very high, apparently. What else would we have drawn there, silly? Don't tell me it's another mono black deck, by the way. That's crazy. All right, I am happy that we drew the Willow Geist. It's a playable here. Something holding priority here. It could be the the Mishra's Foundry. But it's a kill spell. Looks like they got a kill spell ready to go. Cut down or Infernal Grasp or go for the throat. It's going to be one of those 3 cards hitting me here. Or not. Okay. Interesting decision not to kill it. I know they have it, so it's interesting that they didn't kill it because could end up getting bigger and avoiding some of those threats. Avoiding things like the cut down at least. This is the quickest way to do it because it's going to allow us to put something into the graveyard and immediately bring it right back out, which does pump up the Willow Geist. Now we just got to find a sash. If we can find a sash, we're in a good spot here. It's gonna scale this Geist up really, really fast. A sash would be phenomenal too because we could play it, you know, off of the Aganjo, putting it right into the graveyard and bringing it right back. Unfortunate, man. Well, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. We can get that right back, actually. Oh no, it exiles because of the shadow. I forget the shadow has that passive ability like the Commando where when things die, they go to exile. That's such a problem to have to deal with right now. Wow. Only when they die though, not when they necessarily go to the graveyard. So we'll go ahead and throw this in there, bring it back. Man, that's frustrating, huh? You know, I'm gonna go here again. Because it thins out our deck really nicely and you know, it helps us draw into better spells and it also ramps us potentially. So I just think there's more value there, especially when they flip over and become these 3/4 bodies. They're going to be really helpful for attacking into things like Liliana. What are the odds of getting a third mono black player though? That's crazy. I haven't seen this much mono black in a long time. Good old algorithm. All right, looks like the opponent's probably going to just play that Tenacious Underdog for its blitz cost, maybe. Or it's a Shieldred. Or it's an Invoke Despair. All of those things do suck. I would take the Underdog if I had a choice, though. Oh, let's not forget the option to just pump the Misery Shadow to the moon and back. Excuse me. Yep. Misery Shadow. Okay, saving 3 mana for what? Hopefully not a Graveyard Trespasser. All right, very odd. Nothing comes down from the opponent here. Teaching Zakirian is on the field. We get 3 cards in the yard. One of them's a Sarah Paragon, which is just indicative of our bad luck this game. Feels like this has been a pretty unlucky game for us, for sure. A third Rutstein off the top to start it off, and then Liliana's minusing 2 wouldn't have been necessarily even that big of a deal, but of course the shadow exiles my things, making it very, very tough. All right, I've got to imagine they have a kill spell here to protect the Liliana, which is why they held up 3 mana. Could be something like Hero's Downfall, because why would you hold up 3 mana? I guess it could just be the Mishra's Foundry too, coming down to block, which I'll take that. I mean, we destroyed their land, so... But the problem is the Underdog does go to exile like the Shadow did to our last creature, so we're not going to be able to replay it, which is a bummer. And they do have a go for the throat. Architect is in exile. Jeez, the exiling effects of that Shadow are going to absolutely destroy us, man. We can't block because it can pump itself up. And they have a go for the throat. Bummer. Bummer. Not too many things are making it to the graveyard right now, thanks to the shadow, but... Alright, they're gonna plus, obviously. We discard. They discard their last card in hand, which is nice.
We all have things we'd rather.
Okay, 1/1 counter. That comes into play. Play this out. We empty out our entire hand here, which is a bummer, but at least, you know, we got some stuff going now. Killing Liliana is nice. And we got some chump blocks here with these insects. So, I mean, I like where we're at right now. It's not ideal. Obviously, they're drawing cards off the underdog every time they play it in. Okay, they choose not to even play the underdog or attack. Sometimes my opponents do things that really confuse me. Just seems like that should have been a play that they did with the attack. But they're going to play defensively, apparently. So, we'll let them just kind of sit here then. Allow me to keep drawing cards because the sooner I find like a Sarah Paragon, we'll be back in this game. Or like a Sash. A Sash would be great. Not even playing the underdog on the back end of their second main phase there just to draw a card is, you know, kind of odd to me. It feels like that would be an easy decision for me to make, but... And they let the Rutstein go off first before they even kill it. So odd. All right. Yeah, they say oops. Okay, so they realized that was a mistake. All right, we're going to attack here. And we're going to do this. Stop them from potentially drawing cards in the future. And what they're going to try to do now is they're going to try to block with the Misery Shadow, but they're going to have to pump it above 4 power, and then we're going to kill it with the stance, and we're going to basically win the game. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. They say oops. Well, you oopsed a little too early there, my guy. That's what a oops will get you. All right. Well, I mean, you know, they kind of gift wrapped this one for me a little bit, but I'll take it, you know? I'll take it. Another land. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to keep holding on to these lands. They could be, you know, used as fodder for blood tokens if we find another way to... Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the scoop. That'll do it. All right, another mono black player down. Holy cow, I can't believe we beat 3 of them in a row. This was definitely designed to beat like mono blue and reanimator decks, but man, mono black, I will take it. GG. All right, we may be able to squeeze in one more game here. I don't necessarily think I've even gotten any really crazy good games with the Sash plus the Willowgeist. I'm hoping to get one of those types of games off here where we get both of them into play and start feeding off of each other, but we'll see. It's been tough. It's been tough. I'm going to save the Willowgeist a little bit later this time around, and I'm going to try to play a turn 2 Shigeki. Because if I play this land and I go straight Willowgeist, we play a tap land the following turn probably, based on our top decks, of course. And then, yeah, I think this is fine. I'm going to go with this into this. It is unnecessary damage I'm taking from Shigeki for playing this land first over this land, but okay, never mind. We're good. This is a Soldier's deck, though, so is this important? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sarah Paragon in hand is nice. All right, we got to worry about exiling effects like Brutal Cathar. That's going to be the biggest thing, right? There it is. It's like I, you know, played against this deck a few times. All right, we're going to go here. Can't let the Brutal Cathar flip, unfortunately. Just not what I want to see today. All right. Soldiers. Can we beat soldiers? I mean, it depends. Are we going to get a Gix command off the top at some point in this game? Who knows? Even at that, you know, at this point, something like that, it reduces the board up even if we do sweep it. So, well, we got the Gix's command. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You know, I can't let them just attack into me with a transformed Baruch-Cathar. I can't let it flip because if they play 2 spells, they can then exile something from my board easily. So we're going to go this route, and we're going to probably... I'm trying to figure out how I want to play this Gix's command. That's what's really confusing me here, because the veteran giving the 1/1 counters has been pretty annoying, because it's going to give itself counters right now, which it closes the door completely on destroying creatures of 2 power. If I go choose a creature of their highest converted mana cost, is it converted mana cost or power? It's power, right? Power. They get their choice. Huh. It's gonna be tricky, man. It's gonna be tricky. Soldiers is a tough one. I am happy though that this soldiers player, you know, got off to a bit of a slow start though. That's kind of been helpful for us. An officer, all right. And the 1/1 counter again. Oh, they stick to their guns with Brutal Cathar. That's gonna actually come back to bite them so bad. They want to attack into us, and that's fine. But that opens the door for one of the best Gix commands we could have asked for here. All right. I love it. They do get some 1/1s off of the deal, but you know what? I'll take that all day over the board state they currently have. So have at it, my friend. All right, that should do it, I think, as far as, like, you know, the opponent's, you know, too far behind now, I think, to catch up to what we're about to do. We're about to do some crazy things here, but maybe not, though. Soldiers does kind of ramp back pretty heavily. If they have the, what is it called? The Myrtle, I think it's called. The 3/4 body that creates the 1/1 tokens. That's the card. If they play that, they can get back into this game very easily. Definitely going to play this out. No doubt about it. Shigeki needs 3 mana or 2 mana to do its thing. All right, so this is definitely playable. Nice. Go over the top, go down low, create some more spirit tokens for some blocks on the way back. The Architect is actually a very powerful creature. A 3/4 vigilance creature that can just create spirits every time it attacks is actually insane by itself. All right, so Shigeki is going to fill up the yard even further, ramping us even more. And they find a veteran, which is a very powerful soldier. It's fine. That's fine. We are down to 10, though. We got to keep an eye on that. That could get ugly pretty quickly. Oh, the sash in the yard. I love that, because now we finally get to pair up the sash with the Willowgeist. Definitely giving this to the Willowgeist. Reconfigure. And pump this up. All right. Attack in with both of these. Leave the flyer back maybe to block this time around. Or do we just want to send it? You know, I'm going to send it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, yeah, we got some blocks down low. This is definitely a send it opportunity, right? Yeah, it's got to be. Gotta be a send it opportunity. Come on. We got a bit lucky here again with this with this soldiers player, because they didn't find any mana and weren't able to keep up with the pressure we're bringing. So yeah, that'll do it, unfortunately, for them. We did get to finally see what the sash looks like attached to the Willowgeist, and the ability to pump it up, you know, with 2 1/1 counters every single time, which is insane. But again, I just wish I could have had a better matchup there where the opponent was really pressuring us, because I would have loved to have seen how well our deck fared. And the Gix command being in the opening hand was very helpful. So I don't know. I think we could have been fine, especially if we had used this for lifelink abilities as well down the road. But anyways, Shigeki could have gotten it back, reused it is what I mean. But GG's, really fun games, man. Let's break it down. that is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to talk about the deck a little bit further and the inspiration behind it and how we built it. But before I do that, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's made it this far into the video. It helps an absolute ton with the YouTube algorithm stuff. So thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I really do appreciate that a lot. With that being said, let's take a look at today's build, man. So again, this was a deck inspired by an opponent that we ran into on the ladder. I believe their deck was just Selesnya, if I remember correctly. It was a while back, but they ran this Willow Geist combination with the Lion Sash, and then basically they started to exile mine in their own graveyard, and this thing got insanely big, and it was really annoying because every time I killed it, they were able to, you know, reattach the Sash to something else, making it just equally as powerful, which was really hard to beat because the Sash is protected by becoming an artifact on a creature. So if you know, kill it or sweep the board, they're still left with a sizable Lion Sash creature on the field. Thought that was a really great idea. Wanted to try it myself in Abzan because I think Abzan offers a lot of ways to fill up our own graveyard. I actually thought about running a little bit of discard effects in this deck as well, which is still definitely a possibility if you guys want to try that out yourselves. But I really like the version we got here because we can kind of control the narrative a little bit better by filling up our own graveyard, because these two cards work really good because they exile permanents, right? Permanents allow the Lion Sash to trigger. And then the Willow Geist is just whenever a card leaves the graveyard. So I really focused heavily on the permanence aspect of the Lion Sash. That way I know it's always getting the 1/1 counters. So with the permanents I'm using here are going to not only fill up our graveyard, but bring things back from the graveyard as well. We've got things like Old Rutstein, an obvious classic in Abzan to fill up the graveyard. Gives us some really good tools too. You know, treasure tokens, things like that we can use. Obviously Shigeki and the Restoration of Iganja we talked about, but both of these cards work phenomenally here because they fill up the graveyard on its Saga 2, and this one fills up the graveyard by, you know, ramping us and putting some cards in the graveyard. And then with its channel ability and with the you know, second ability here, I'm sorry, it's the second, yeah, second ability here, we bring something back from the graveyard back to the battlefield. So both of these are going to trigger the Willow Geist ability, and it's just going to, you know, make it absolutely massive. Tenacious Underdog is pretty good here because it acts as a secondary lethal tool here that we can attach Lion Sash to, especially for, you know, exile or discarding it into the graveyard, and it has its blitz cost. It'll always allow us to draw extra cards potentially down the road. And again, if we get swept up by some sort of sweeper, we can bring the Tenacious Underdog right back from the graveyard to the battlefield the next turn, attach a Sash to it, hopefully having enough damage to get the job done. And then of course this opens the door for some fun things like Gix Command, because we've seen this thing be able to bring things back from the graveyard, which plays right into our hand really well. But it also acts as a, you know, a sweeper of sorts, and giving us lifelink too could be very, very helpful, especially on a massive body like the Willow Geist. And then of course this was a no-brainer Sarah Paragon deck because this card brings back permanents of mana value 3 or less, which is almost our entire deck is made up of. So this works extremely well here. And then the Teachings of Kieran. Now this one was interesting because I've never really used this card, but it works extremely well as well because it follows that same logic of filling up the graveyard, exiling things from the graveyard. When it attacks, it gives 1/1 counters, or it creates these tokens for us. All these things work extremely well because it synergizes perfectly with the deck. Getting the Kieran to actually be able to attack successfully as a 1/1 is tough, but if we can get a Lion Sash attached to it, it could do some serious work for us and kind of work as a pseudo Willow Geist, which is pretty cool. Now I am running one removal card of Valorous Stance because this is a really good answer to Shieldred. Shieldred's always a card that you always got to think about as a possibility on the other side of the field, and it has Death Touch, so you got to make sure you're able to kill it on cue. But this card acts as a really good removal spell for it because it also acts as a backup to protect the Willow Geist if need be, or our Sarah Paragon for that matter. But yeah, guys, that's the deck in a nutshell. It's really, really cool. The mana looks a little funky, and that's because we had to run a lot of planes because you don't want to lose the value on the Restoration of Iganja. You want to make sure you're always drawing into your planes and not running out. So I threw in a lot of extra planes in here, chopped down a little bit of the, you know, burn lands here, the pain lands. But yeah, man, a super fun deck. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This one was an absolute banger. Honestly, I think it was really fun, and what it's trying to do is extremely creative, and I think that again you can kind of modify this thing in a lot of ways, which makes it even more fun. You can modify it into like a discard deck, hitting your opponent's hand a lot, but in that case you have a little less control over the Lion Sash's ability, because if your opponent's running a lot of just spells that are not creatures or permanents, you might not get a lot of value out of the 1/1 counters. But anyways, hope you guys had fun today. Happy Friday, happy weekend, man. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching all the way through. Huge shout out to the Marty Mob as always. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program on this channel. We call it the Marty Mob, and I want to give them a shout out at the end of every video because they help support this channel through their monthly memberships, and I do appreciate them very much for doing so. So thank you for that. And yeah, a new video just dropped for the Marty Mob alone, members only video for box opening, so be sure to check that out if you haven't, if you're a member. And yeah guys, enjoy. We'll see you guys on the next one on Monday, but until next time guys, as always, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't